But I'd like to get into a quarterback move that I thought was going to be one of the most impactful, which was Ryan Fitzpatrick. And again, I tell you, I'm a Fins fan, and I hate to use that term man crush, but dude, I tell you, man, I never liked Ryan Fitzpatrick. Didn't like him on the Bills because I was a Fin fan. Didn't like him on the Jets because I'm a Fins fan. And, we played Tampa when he was on Tampa. I'm like, this guy's a bum, he's throwing, whatever. But until you get to actually see him play week in and week out, and then when you break down tape, I've been writing for a Fins magazine for like 5 or 6 years. So my job, I've kind of shut off the rest of the NFL in a lot of ways, except for the AFC East. But the Dolphins, man, I watch every single game, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, depends, I watch it once live. I watch the rebroadcast, the quick 40-minute version. I wait for the all 22 film to come out, and then I break that down. I watch that maybe 5, 6, 7 times, and a couple times in super slow-mo. So I'm really focusing on what's going on. I'm focusing on the context. I'm trying to find the nuances of the game. I got issues, it's my job. I love football, so it's, a little OCD maybe. I don't know. But when you break it down and you really look at the film, not just the first time, you watch a game, there's no way on earth you can watch a game in one sitting live and know what's going on. This is why the coaches say, well, I got to go watch the film. They go back and watch even more than I do, probably 10 times the amount. But when you sat down and you watch that film week in and week out of Ryan Fitzpatrick from 2019 through 2020, you cannot help but have deep respect for the guy. Now, like I said, his arm kind of gets tired. Occasionally gets a little careless. But every quarterback does. The positives that he brings, the energy, the ability to use his brains to anticipate throws. His anticipation on throws is phenomenal. And so now I really have, I haven't been paying attention to other teams and other divisions. But because of Fitzpatrick, because now I'm doing this thing, I started really considering the NFC East. And it's kind of an intriguing situation. I think there's going to be a lot of fun for football fans. When I was a kid, it was all about the Dolphins and I hated everybody else, But as I got a little older and wiser, I began to appreciate just football, And if a guy's on a different team, if he's a good football player and they do something good, I enjoy it. If they're playing the Dolphins, I hate you. I still got that little kid in me. But this NFC East is going to be, I think, kind of interesting. I think Fitzpatrick and Dak together are going to be battling it out for the top of the division. And when you look over the teams, I guess the easy thing is to say, oh, Dallas is in charge. Dallas has got Dak, they're America's team. But when you look over all the players and you look over the situations, I think it's going to be a little closer or maybe end up very different than what is being predicted. So let's go look over the difference. You have Dak, he was injured, but prior to the injury, he was by PFF, he was ranked the 9th best quarterback in the NFL. Fitzpatrick, 19th. But, tell you the truth, I watched some of the games, and I was very impressed with Dak. Other games, not so much. But when you look at the surrounding talent, and that's the thing, too. We saw I mentioned this last time, with Mahomes. Mahomes is generational talent, we're told. But he looked like a nobody in the Super Bowl. And was it because he stinks? No, it's because his offensive line was a shambles. The play calling was a shambles. There was no adaption, no ingenuity. There was nothing, right? So you had no running game. So you have to remember, quarterbacks are still they are the most important piece. They're the key piece, but they're just a piece. And if that offensive line is not good, chances are that quarterback and the talent around him is going to struggle. So, as I said, I haven't, really paid attention to the Cowboys in a while. I remember they had a the 90s offensive line. They were great. And there was a resurgence a couple of years ago, and I remember them having a great offensive line. But when I started looking into the players and I looked into the talent, I was very surprised to see that we were getting maybe a new era of hogs. So when you go over, we'll take Dallas. You got Tyler he's ranked the 32nd center. Connor, he's the McGovern, he's 47th. Zach Martin, still super talented, ranked 2nd. You have Connor Williams, 16th. And Tyron Smith, who had a bad injury and didn't really see much, but his 2019 grade was 16th. So this is obviously a quality line. You have 2 top 10s and 2 top 20 players on your offensive line. This is a talented line. So you pretty impressive. I figured that was it. No mas, that was it. When I went to look at the Washington Redskins, I was taken back. Chase Roulier, hope I'm pronouncing that right. My French is not so hot. He's the 6th ranked center. And to me, center is as crucial. Not as, the left tackle is not as big as it used to be. Kind of things have changed, but still it's an important position. But that center is critical. 6th ranked center, Sheriff, Brandon Sheriff, 4th ranked guard, Schweitzer, Wes Schweitzer, the German in me gets that one right, 16th ranked, Morgan Moses, 18th. So you're looking at that right side of the line. You got Rollier 6th, 18th Schweitzer, and 18th Morgan Moses, which is a very, very, very good line. But here I thought it was interesting. I didn't know, I'm not a Washington fan. So I would be interested if some Washington fans can tell me Cornelius Lucas is ranked 22nd. I know there was an injury, but he was playing throughout the season. He just didn't start the tail end. Was that because of the injury or something else? Because honestly, if you look at 6th, 4th, 18th, 22nd, and 18th, that is the superior line between the two teams. So that means the protection edge goes to Fitzpatrick. Okay? So when you take those two lines and then you compare them to the opposing defenses when they play head-to-head, I thought it was interesting too. As far as skins go, I was really taken back how good their defensive line was. I knew Chase Young was good, 5th. Montez Sweet, I know he kind of struggled, I believe, his first year, but he's up to 11th. And both of them have great pass rushing grades. So that's the edges right there. You're getting him excellent pressure. Dallas has good tackles, and so that kind of offset. But honestly, the talent level, that swings to Washington. You got Jonathan Allen at 18. Daron Payne, 38th inside. He's not much of a pass rusher, but he's a quality player. But Tim Settle, I remember Tim Settle. I wanted the Dolphins to draft him. He's a big nose tackle. He's an excellent pass rusher. So when you look at that, you're getting 4 to 5 guys that are quality players. Whereas if you look over at the Dallas Cowboys, they've got DeMarcus Lawrence, still excellent, 4th best in the league. Randy Gregory slipped. He's still a quality player, but it looks like he's a spot player. Or maybe he was injured last year, but he's kind of stepped off. Brent Urban, he's verging on a good player for pass rush. So the edge goes again to Washington. So now you have the protection edge, you have the pass rush edge, and so yes, Dak is the better quarterback, but surrounding talent is favoring Fitzpatrick. So then when you go to who are they going to be throwing to? Dak Prescott's got some good plays. He's got Gallup, he's got Lamb and Cooper. Cooper's the 31st, Lamb is the 54th, and Gallup is the 78th, which is a quality group to throw to. But unfortunately, Ezekiel Elliott's been dropped off. His production isn't what it used to be. And so Dak looks like he's straddled with not the greatest of talent. Well, you go to Washington, they just got Curtis Samuel, who is the 27th ranked. But he had Bridgewater throwing to him. And Bridgewater's a good quarterback, but he's not a kind of quarterback that's going to raise the level of the receiver. So he easily could end up being much better this season than 27th. And then you have Terry McLaurin, who had Alex Smith, who is another good quarterback, but he had a huge layoff. And so he's not another quarterback that's not going to throw you open as much and raise the level of your game. And he was ranked 26th. So they have Carl Sims, 97th. But if you have 27th, 26th, and 97th, again, it looks like the edge goes to Washington. And I tell you, as a Dolphins fan, Fitzpatrick throws guys open. He raises. Look at the difference between Devontae Parker with Fitzpatrick and Devontae Parker with Tua. Now, Tua, he's young and all this other stuff. It's not a knock on Tua. But Fitzpatrick was able to turn Gesicki around and raise him to become a potent threat. Parker, Grant, he raised the level of these guys. So I expect the same again. So when you go down the line, you're seeing that, yes, Dak is the better quarterback. Fitzpatrick's got the better offensive line. Fitzpatrick's got more talent to throw to. He might even have the better back to run the football. I mean, name not counting, just talent and production. He's got the better lines, got the better receivers. So this whole surround, and he's got the better pass rush. So when they meet head to head, it looks like the division might be heading through Washington again. Now, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of variables that I'm not, as somebody who is not studying the teams, who's not an expert on the division. You fans who are watching, you know more. Point me out. Let me help me know where I'm wrong. Because honestly, I don't like Dallas and I don't like Washington. But I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch this division this year because I find it exciting. Mostly, as I said, because of Fitzpatrick. But let me know what I should be looking out for, where I'm wrong. Help me find the direction. And lastly, we have the Giants, and then we have the Eagles underneath. And you never know how things are going to change. A good draft, some injuries can switch this whole thing around. So, I mean, there's a lot of room for change. But Jones, he's 18th ranked quarterback. He shows some flashes and then shows some fumbles, when he gets hit and stuff. And, is he going to step up this year? Saquon Barkley, who, I played running back in junior college. I played running back in high school. It's my position. It's like I love running back. Saquon Barkley was the first running back in ages that I felt that rush of excitement when I watched him. The last one was Adrian Peterson. There's all the good backs out there, but I never felt that rush. And I really, really enjoyed watching this kid. But he took a terrible injury early in his career. Can he bounce back? I mean, can he, and what will he be? I don't know. That's a big, big deal. So there's a lot of question marks around the Giants. What I do like, though, is the defense that they're building over there. Dexter Lawrence, I wanted him over Wilkins. I wanted the Finns to draft him over Wilkins. And so far, he's looking like a far better player. And B.J. Hill is another guy. He was during he was drafted, I think, when Tim Settle was being drafted. And I like both them as quality nose tackles. And he's a very good player. Then you got Blake Martinez with the Giants, the sixth best. You got James Bradbury. He was like the seventh best cornerback. So there's some pieces that I noticed. Haven't watched enough tape of it to really say, oh, I'm impressed, except for Lawrence, because I like him as a player, and Saquon Barkley. So the defense could create defense. Saquon Barkley and Jones stepping up could make the Giants the dark horse. But it's a little iffy. We'll see. I still see Redskins and Dallas as above them. Not head and shoulders, but they do have a strong edge. And then there's the Eagles. You got Jason Kelce and Jalen Hurts. That team's in transition. That team's in flux. Will Jalen Hurts take a step up? Will they draft another quarterback? I don't know. I just don't really see them as being real threats. But again, I put the least amount of study into them I loved the Eagles beating the Patriots a couple of years ago. I mean, I was a wannabe Eagles fan at that point, so I'm very thankful for you Eagles fans for doing that. So don't take this as a slight in any way. But just when you go down the list, you look at the roster, you look at all the transition that's going on, the flux of quarterback, uncertainty, in many areas, especially on the offensive line. It's hard to really rank them. So this is where we're at with the NFC East. I really think you Redskins fans are in for a big surprise. It'll be very interesting. I would like to hear some comments. Tell me what I should be looking out for, things I got right, things I got wrong, because I can't study the whole NFL this year. I'm still on the Dolphins, the AFC East, but NFC East could be a very fun division to pay attention to, and I'm going to, again, because of Fitzpatrick. So that's the wrap up of our show today. I appreciate your time. Thank you for paying attention. If you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe, be well, and thanks again.